I just got a GoPro 8 and I already have some major beefs with this thing. And that's what I'm gonna talk about in this video here and now. Now, before I rip GoPro a new one, I just wanna quickly preface this by saying that number one, I'm not sponsored by GoPro. And number two, I've been a GoPro fan since the early days. I think that these are the best action cameras on the market to date. And I know that this fact is gonna get argued over and over again in the comments below, but I think as a whole package, GoPro is the king. I think that their video quality is good, their frame rate is good, and I think that their menu systems are exceptional. You know, I've filmed on Sony's and I've filmed on Contours and all of the above. And GoPro's menus are just the easiest to use. They're the easiest to just navigate when you need to do it quickly. And they're also what I'm used to, so I just think as a whole package, this is as close to perfection as any one product gets. So now you know that I'm a fanboy, and now I'm gonna rip GoPro a new one. The very first beef that I have with the GoPro 8 is these stupid new legs. Look at these things. They're so flimsy, there's moving parts, there's more moving parts rather, and they just don't work as good. Here, look, here's a genuine GoPro mount that this camera came with. And when you stick the new legs into that mount, there's a lot more give. Look at how much more give there is in this thing, look. When you're filming stuff, give is bad. Give is like unnecessary oscillations, it's jerking and twerking and all kinds of, you know, movements that you didn't want. And so I feel like that is a step in the wrong direction. If this is an action camera, you're gonna be mounting it to stuff that's gonna be moving, shaking. You know, I'm not even an extreme athlete, but when I'm running down the street, this thing is gonna be shaking. And if this thing is moving more than the predecessor, that's not a good thing. So for example, check this out. Whoop. Very little give, a lot of give. Very little give, a lot of give. Okay, moving right along. Here's another thing I'm not a huge fan of. When you open the battery compartment, you'll find that it does take old batteries. So if you had a GoPro 5, 6, 7, you'll be relieved to know that GoPro didn't change those and that the battery still works with the new camera. That being said, when you use a non-GoPro 8 battery, you get a strange battery notice, and it says, use a GoPro rechargeable battery, Hero 8 Black for peak performance. What the hell does that mean? Does that mean that if you use a GoPro 7 battery, that the camera isn't gonna perform at the top of its level? You know, I just got this camera 3 days ago, and I don't really know what this means yet. I'm gonna have to run some tests, but I don't like seeing that. That's kind of like Apple saying, yes, you can upgrade to the new, you know, operating system with your old phone, but your phone's gonna work way worse when you do. And for comparison's sake, let's take a GoPro 8 battery. These are the new batteries with the blue. Let's pop it in the camera. And you can see that that warning message no longer comes up. So GoPro, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. One thing I do think that they got right is that their new door is a lot beefier and a lot more awesome. Their new battery door, that is. So it feels like it's made out of metal. It's got a much beefier construction, and it just works. I think it's gonna last longer if I can figure out how to close it. I'm still learning everything about this camera. So with the GoPro 7, the attachment points on the compartment doors were made out of plastic. So when you took them on and off a couple times, they wear out, and then I'm constantly having to get replacements. So that's not ideal. So on the 8, they did get that part right. My last beef with the GoPro 8 is the fact that they got rid of the lens cover. So with the 7, you used to be able to take the lens cover off. And this was awesome because if you ever scratched the glass, I don't know, because it's an action camera and you're most likely gonna do it because you're gonna drop it at some point. Well, with the 7, it wasn't a problem because you could just remove the lens cover, get a new one, snap it back on, and bam, you're back in business. You can't do that with the 8. And my question is why? And sure, some people are probably going to argue that you can just slap some tempered glass, like a lens protector on it that you can buy off Amazon or whatever, but I don't want to do that. There's a reason filmmakers don't protect their expensive lenses with stick-on lens protectors. And that reason is because it degrades film quality. So I feel like that's a major regression, and I really hope that in future generations of the GoPro, they go back to this removable lens protector. So there you have it. Those are my gripes. I hope that this video is helpful to you. You know, maybe these are deal breakers, and I want you to know so that you can save yourself some money and headache. And if these things don't matter to you, that's fine too. At least now you know the full picture before you spend your hard-earned cash on the next generation of GoPro. If you're curious to see some sample footage that I shot, I recently published a video where I compare GoPro 7 and GoPro 8 footage in a wide array of situations, and I'll link to that video below, so make sure you check that out. Last but not least, subscribe to my channel, Butenko Films, for more videos just like this that are completely different.